And we are about to do our drunk review of The Walking Dead season 7. Woo!
Oh, so good.
So good.
So good. So where shall we start, my love?
Well, there's a lot of things that happened this year. Do we want to start with the season overall and the pacing, and then move on to other things?
That sounds delightful.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but it felt like the season was very in between. There were great moments and great build-up. Some episodes were just phenomenally paced, phenomenally written, and in some episodes just...
Yes, as we call them, the filler episodes.
Yay, filler.
Which we are usually guaranteed at least, what, 4?
At least 4.
4.
At least 4.
4.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the parts say the terror episode, for instance, I consider that kind of a filler.
It was a filler episode. It needed to happen, but...
It didn't need to happen for an entire episode.
Yeah.
We get it. You
We
found
got
the
it.
Amazon women.
Yay!
Good for you.
Congratulations.
Although, props to her because she was, just giving birth at that point?
Yeah.
So...
I would like
Get
to be
it,
back
girl.
to work and looking that good
Mm-hmm.
immediately after having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And can we talk about how the internet was so focused on her boobs?
Well, I was too.
Well, they were fabulous.
They were.
But I don't think they were as focused on those as we were for the right reasons.
No.
Not so much.
No.
Not so much. There were a lot of those type of episodes where now, here's an example of how it was done right. Not the very last episode, but the episode before that where they moved between 3 different points. Told the stories well for each point, and it didn't feel like filler. And you got a whole bunch of information.
Yes.
And that's what they could have done. They could have done the Amazon episode and combined it with the Trash People episode, and we would have gotten everything we needed from both of those situations, and it wouldn't have just dragged.
Yes.
And dragged. And we needed that situation to happen. We did need to see the Amazons. But... it just took so long.
It did. Although the zombies in that particular episode, when Rick and everybody go see the Amazons,
yes, that was
they
great.
were some Pirates of the Caribbean
Those
type stuff.
seriously were some amazing zombies, and I was all about them. I also loved the Mama June zombie with the neck. With the neck. She was a different episode, but she was fantastic.
Perfect timing because she has her new show coming out. Why not be in The Walking Dead and be a zombie?
Yay!
She's already disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. So it all works out perfectly.
Yay.
Yay. So let's talk about the different types of leadership we saw this year.
Alrighty. Well, of course, Rick.
Rick. Oh, Rick.
And we have seen him...
That roller coaster.
And thank goodness for Michonne for bringing him back. Of course, he wasn't biting anybody's throat out in this one, but
he was close though.
Oh,
that look
too so.
I was
bad.
really ready for him to shoot somebody's face off, guys. For real.
Like he had murder in his eyes.
Yeah. We got a lot of. I think the season can be described as leadership and PTSD. Because we saw a lot of different type of leaders in a way that I don't think we've really seen in previous seasons. We've stayed so focused on Rick and his crew and their interactions with other people, but we've never spread out to see the very different enclaves that have come up. And I feel like we saw like 6 or 7 different types of leadership. We saw Maggie at Hilltop. Can we talk about, first of all.
She's come a long way in this season.
I really wasn't expecting her to... I'm glad she didn't fall apart. She could have very easily and justifiably fallen apart after what happened in the premiere. And yet she went, no, because I have a child coming. Although she's still not showing.
No,
she's going to be pregnant for 11 months.
She's one of those skinny girls where it's like, oh, guess what? I'm giving birth.
Surprise!
Oh,
I'm pregnant. She's going to give birth in a toilet. I didn't know I was pregnant.
Oh.
There's a Learning Channel show in there for her.
Maggie.
She, Cheers.
Cheers.
But see her leadership contrasted with Gregory.
Yes. Whereas he has none. I get where in the beginning he did because he seemed like he was important and possibly had his stuff together. He knows how to boss people around that have no brains.
Yeah.
Well, now he is put to the challenge
against two people who actually know what they're doing.
Yes, like he's obviously never killed a zombie before.
Yeah. No one knew that.
No. I mean, this breakout didn't just happen yesterday.
No.
No.
So he's been hiding under other people this whole
entire time.
Yeah. He was, well, you got to give Gregory credit. He was smart enough to fool the people of Hilltop for at least a year, if not longer. Because how long? Gregory's been around, 2 years now on the show?
Yeah, 2 seasons.
So, for at least the last 2 years, Gregory has been able to fool these people into believing that he knew what he was doing just by sheer force of will. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty impressive when you think about it. It's the kind of lie that falls apart in the face of a Maggie and a Sasha who actually do know what they're doing and who are natural leaders and who people naturally gravitate to, not because they're being bossy, but because of who they are.
I think in the beginning that's probably how it started out with him, but his cowardice kind of played into Negan taking over. Yeah. That he will bend and break for them as long as he's safe. As long as
he gets what he wants. He's good to go. Yeah. So as long as he has, I'm getting more alcohol. As long as he already started. People.
Walking Dead cut, by the way.
There you go. Can hold almost an entire liter of alcohol, people.
Product placement.
Yeah, we poured this much alcohol and there's this much left. Surprise.
They also have their own beer, by the way, as well. There's this one in particular, and there's also the Lucille. The Lucille
privilege. Where's the Lucille?
Right behind you.
Hi, Lucille.
There. Yes. Oh, yes. Delicious.
It's very delicious.
As well.
Delicious. So anyway.
So Gregory.
Gregory is a hot mess, but then we get excuse me, sorry.
I'm verklempt.
Ezekiel, y'all. Lord of mercy. Row, like a dungeon dragon. Row, like a dungeon dragon. Row, like a dungeon dragon. Oh my God. All right, can we just talk about how Carrie Payton is? I mean, I've loved him since he was Aqualad on Young Justice, the voice of Aqualad. And I was like, who is this? And I saw him and I was like, oh, Lord.
He is beautiful.
And then now I'm like, oh, heavens.
Yes.
It's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
And it's his persona. So he's like this classically trained actor. Mm-hmm. And I think Carol's first little
interaction with him, which was hilarious,
was
by the way.
Priceless.
It was
She's
amazing.
Like, oh, Your Majesty. And like, oh, wow, he has a tiger. Dude
has a tiger.
And we love him.
And we love him. And Shiva, can we just talk about how Shiva was the real MVP of the final episode?
Yes.
Shiva came out of nowhere. Shiva was like, it is snack time. And I'm here to eat.
Well trained.
She's
like,
how did she know which
was the bad guys?
Yeah. She was like, I got this. Don't worry about it.
It's a zombie apocalypse. Chances are all these kind of
people
smell.
Yeah.
They're all dressed kind of alike, covered in blood.
Well, the trash people, they smell
the trash people, smell a lot worse.
So as long as he's like, Shiva, go for anyone who smells like trash. We're good.
Yeah. True.
So, and I will say that Ezekiel, beyond being fine, is all hail because, is also a father to his crew.
Yes.
In a way that, Rick is a leader, but he's not a father to his people.
Now, Ezekiel is much more compassionate.
He's so compassionate towards his people, and he draws them in because you can honestly tell that he would jump in front of a bus for every single person, which was what made Benjamin's death so horrifying because Benjamin was basically his son. And so that's what it made it so bad. And the fact that he could still find compassion, not just for Morgan, but for what's the guy who engineered it and it ended up blowing up in his face?
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Obviously.
That guy, he made such an impression. So clearly, even he still found it in him to have compassion for him. that tells you a lot about who Ezekiel is as a person. And the fact that he has so much love in his heart, even after everything that's been going on, dealing with Negan for who knows how long. So, I hope he averts his fate in the books.
Yes. And I hope him and Carol finally get to have some sucky time.
And then he gets another baby, and in a dream world, everybody lives happily ever after.
Listen to us, Walking Dead. You can make this happen.
You can do this.
You can do this.
You can do it.
It'll be nice.
Just for us. Drink. So.
So yes, may the glory be to Ezekiel.
And his fine ass.
And his wonderful army that just shows up at nick of time.
Nick of time and well trained.
Well trained. I mean, I like that they look like they're about to play like laser tag.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, they bring the ruckus.
They do.
I think they might be the most well-trained crew because Negan's people are just vicious. They're not trained.
No.
They're just killers.
They just have guns, yeah.
Yeah, they're just killers. They're not actually trained. Ezekiel's people are trained to fight.
And the trash people seem, well, some of them seem okay.
Okay,
especially
fighters.
like the whoever that weird lady was that was fighting Michonne.
Yeah. The one who looked like she was going to try to keep Michonne when it was over. That one.
Yeah, we win.
Can we talk about all the rapey undertones this season?
Awful.
And it wasn't just.
I would lay with him
when they were done, and it wasn't just like Negan's crew. It was everyone who came in contact with Rick's people.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, basically, I'm gonna keep you, and I'm gonna keep you. I'm like,
well, I think because they really are. They're showing that human is the threat. It's not zombies.
It's not zombies.
It's been phased out for a while. I mean, even down to the last episode, the only zombie that we saw was Sasha.
Yes.
That is the only zombie.
That was the only zombie because the real problem, and it will always be the case. The real threat will always be humans because we are awful.
Yeah.
As our friend Oz says, humans ain't shit. Mm-hmm. Not ever. And
trust no one.
Trust no one, indeed. So then we have the Amazons.
I like them.
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
They are secluded and safe for the moment. They have strong women that are
for the moment
good defenders.
Mm-hmm.
But just like every other group that is in the zombie apocalypse, there are only so many humans left. Mm-hmm. You are going to cross paths eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have, I guess, the grandmother figure who is the leader looking over them, and she's cautious. Obviously, she wants to keep everybody alive because she saw what happened.
Yeah.
She lost so much.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand she didn't join up with him, but it was at the same time very disappointing that nobody from the Amazons was in the ending. Like, I had really hoped that
we were going to get some last minute save or something.
Yeah, like they would just kind of reunite a little bit.
I don't think that's the last we're going to see of them, though.
No. Oh, no.
I really don't, because they're itching, especially the younger generation. They're itching to get out there and fight, and I fully get why Grandma's like, no. Especially for the younger generation.
Well, Rick also made a promise that he was going to be returning their guns.
True.
And Rick doesn't
break his promises. So, and Negan, as Negan find out, you can cut off my hands. Mm-hmm. I'm still going to kill you. If I got to do it with my feet,
yep,
I'm going to find a way to murder your ass.
He will take his bat and shove it down your throat.
Where the sun don't shine, is what he's saying.
Or that.
Yeah. So, down.
Up.
Okay, can we talk about Jadis, the friggin' Snow Queen?
Ombre hair of grossness.
Can we Jadis makes me sad, guys. She's like a really bad Romulan or Vulcan, but with none of the levels.
Yeah, I feel like the Vulcans are more caring and have
more personality.
Yeah.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? Angela of Asgard. So, for those of you who are not familiar, Thor and Loki found out that they had an older sister who was Aldrich, aka Angela, from Guardians of the Galaxy. And she was raised by the angels, who have a code which is nothing is nothing. Mm-hmm. So their whole deal is that they, if they make a deal with you, they will honor their deal. But if you break your end of it, it's on. So these guys reminded me of the angels from, Thor and Loki, the 10th World, but without the code where the angels never break their code. But if you break your word, now they don't have the trash people. What were they? Did they even have a name?
Well, that's the thing. People? I thought they were going to become the Whisperers,
but they're not.
But they're not the Whisperers.
No.
And now I'm like, okay, but
who are
just
you?
The trash people.
They're just these garbage people, as Negan said. These garbage
they're
people.
They're the Walking Dead white trash.
They're the trash people. Yay! That's your new name. The trash people.
She reminds me a little bit of Callisto from X-Men.
Ooh.
Just kind of grody. Like,
Ooh.
She was a leader for a long time. She's about to get knocked down.
She's going to get her feelings hurt.
Like, Storm is going to swoop in and be like, no.
Yeah. Oh, Michonne's going to come for her. Mm-hmm. Michonne wanted to give her the fade when she was like, can I lay with Rick? She was ready to give her the fade then.
No.
So now that she knows.
This is mine.
Yeah.
This is where my pleasure comes from.
And it's not for you. Not for you. I almost died because I thought this man died. So your ass gets none of it. Mm-hmm. So now that she knows they straight up betrayed them, that fade is coming fast and furious.
Do you think they're going to go for them first or regroup and get ready for Negan?
I think that the smart play would be guerrilla warfare. Take out his support system first. Because Negan can say, I'm going to go to war all he wants to. But if these people are hiding and coming in and taking out your points of operation one-on-one, that would be the smart play. So yeah, I would say go after them because there's a support point. But that's what they should have done from the beginning. When they were coming up with this plan, and that was my biggest problem with this plan, I'm like, there's no one know military tactics in this crew.
And it was just because, Dwight says so. This guy that we've been enemies with this entire time.
Right? Who's betrayed us once already.
Tara was like ready to take him
down. Tara was ready to remove his head.
But no, we're going to just play into his plan.
Because now that he has nothing to lose, he wants Negan dead. Which is the other thing and it kind of leads into the next thing, which is Negan, as a leader, inspires through fear. He doesn't command loyalty. No one is except for the sick guy, like the guy who shot Benjamin. No one's with Negan because they want to be. And that's the other thing. Okay, here's the other thing that really kind of pissed me off. Negan killed that dude who was going to rape Sasha. And there were actual human beings on the actual internet going, see, he's not that bad. He is exactly that bad.
He does that with every single wife that he owns.
Exactly. They're not there. Forcing someone to marry you. Because if they don't, you're going to kill their father, husband, brother, friend, sister, whatever. Is the same as rape. If the two people involved are not both consenting, it's rape. That's how rape works.
So don't for a second think Negan's a
good guy.
He killed the guy that was going to rape her because he wanted to do the same thing.
Yeah, he killed her because basically the last 2 episodes was his marriage proposal to Sasha. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. He, for all intents and purposes, was like, you will be my head queen. You will be the queen. And all these other bitches will be my concubines. Yeah. And that's what that was. And literally, the last 2 episodes was him basically going, I won't, because I love you. My mother made a good comparison. He's like Kilgrave with Jessica. And it's a good comparison. He honestly doesn't understand that Sasha wouldn't want anyone to die in her place. And that not killing people is the least you can do as a functioning human.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was loading the dishwasher correctly.
That helps. Dudes who wash dishes and sweep floors, you will get some. This is a little bit of advice from me to you as someone who is in a good relationship. Let me tell you, you wash some damn dishes. and clean the floor, take out some cat litter every once in a while, you will get yours. That is better than any romantic gesture on earth. But trust.
I will say for Sasha, I give it to her. This is like probably the best turn down line ever. I would rather take a pill and turn into a zombie,
right,
than be your woman,
right? For real.
I'd rather pop out of a casket and try to eat your head,
be dead as hell,
than be your wife,
than be married to you. Yeah, because that was the whole thing. It was, and it reminded me of a political marriage.
Oh,
it really, because that's what it was.
Yeah.
He was trying to form a political marriage from a hostage wife from another kingdom to try to unite their two kingdoms, because he knows.
See what you did there.
Mm-hmm, he knows that Rick is the kind of person who's not going to give up.
Yeah.
And
never gonna give you up. Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you.
I'm a zombie. Sorry. Getting a little off track here.
Anyway. Oh my God.
I know. Bringing it back.
Bring it back. Sasha knew. I wish she hadn't gone into that damn compound. I wish she hadn't, but we knew she was leaving. The minute she got cast on Star Trek, I was like, she's leaving.
She's like, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do something about this.
Yeah, but I don't think she expected that Negan would be turned on by it. Like, I don't think
beach ball size lady nuts.
Yeah, lady nuts. Well, here's the thing, and I was like, you should have, but she had never met him beyond that first incident.
Yeah. We,
as viewers, have spent time with Negan, so we know what his turn-ons are. And all of his other quote-unquote wives are doormats. They are plotting in secret, but they have been beaten down and so broken. Sasha has nothing to lose. Maggie, as far as she knew, was safe.
Well, that was another line. He's like, the widows come
back, guns a-blazing.
Like,
I love that he was so. That widow is alive. Guns a-blazing. He was so surprised that she was still alive and that she was coming in. I'm like, what did you think? If you murdered my husband, I guarantee you, I'm gonna find a way to hunt you down and make you pay for it. So there is no way in the world.
It's true. If I was to ever actually get married and love somebody like that, I would probably hunt you down.
No.
I'm sorry.
I've been known, I can tell you right now.
If you hurt my fur babies, I will come after you.
Right. Right. I have been known to freaking, let's just say.
Happy birthday, Ron.
Happy birthday, Ron. By the way, we love you so much.
We love you, Ron. My wife is getting drunk with me, and it's really fun.
It's hilarious. There have been times where folks almost caught the fade over my significant other. So, because you can say whatever you want to me, I don't care. Don't do it. So, I don't know why Negan was surprised that Maggie... Did they tell him Maggie was dead?
Oh, yeah, they had the fake grave. Remember?
Oh, my God. She died from shock. That's what the lie was, that she died from shock.
That was Father Gabriel. He's like, well, we had that extra grave, and they buried it up and pretended that it was hers.
Right.
So that she could go to the hilltop.
She could go to Hilltop.
And see the doctor.
Okay, that makes way more sense, because Negan would have taken her.
Oh yeah.
She's fertile. Because he's been trying to get pregnant. He's been trying to repopulate with himself alone, and it ain't worked yet.
And all these girls are like, "Oh, my eggs, they're leaving my body. They're going back right up into my uterus, and dying. Like, we're catching menopause early because of you. So, okay, yeah, that makes more sense, and that makes sense why they lied too. Because if he knows she's fertile and pregnant, he would have kept her. Yeah. Or he would have tried. Or tortured her more. And
so she would lose the baby so they could get her pregnant.
Yeah.
So, I honestly believe And Sasha knew what Negan was trying to do. She knew he was trying to basically, he was courting her. For 2.5 episodes, he was courting her. The fact that she went in by her tiny ass little self, went in and murdered, he said she killed like 5 or 10 of his people by herself. Her little ass went in like the fire. Baller. She went in, took out 5 or 10 of his dudes, not little women, dudes, grown ass men, by herself.
But and again, because they're trained.
And she was the one that was training the people at Hilltop.
Negan, not.
Negan's people are killers. They're not trained fighters, and there's a huge difference.
Negan's backstory was he played Little League baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a bully then, and he's a bully now. And so he just gathered other bullies around him, but most bullies can't actually do anything.
Yeah. I can't wait for, who was that one gray-haired man? He wants to be just like Negan too. He's the, I know
who you're talking about.
The one that is now into tequila. I remember his drinks
because
he's
talking
an
about
alcoholic.
Simon. Who's always that guy? He was that guy on freaking Westworld.
Yeah.
He was that guy on, I want to say, on Supernatural. Mm-hmm. He's always that guy. Mm-hmm. He's did you see the Supernatural thing that they did? It was amazing, you guys. It was amazing. Dad always did love that baseball. Well, that's your first problem.
Don't judge.
That's your first problem. We're all judging you.
So, again, we went back all the way to the beginning.
All the way back to the beginning.
All the way back to the beginning, where we had the fury of Lucille to the end of the season, where we, for a change, don't have a crazy cliffhanger.
We didn't, and it was weird as no one won in that season finale, but it was extremely satisfying.
Yeah.
It was extremely, here's the thing, and this is one of the things that I said the other night. You don't have to kill a god. You have to make them bleed. Negan,
and he has bled.
He bled in front of his people. And what he doesn't know is that there are people already working against him. The wives are trying to kill him.
He's questioning everybody now.
Dwight.
Interesting.
He never questioned Dwight.
He's not questioning Dwight, and Dwight was the one
that
left that chess piece by the way, y'all.
Yes.
He said, I didn't know.
I was like, Dwight is actually I'm like, Dwight needs to die, and Dwight knows he's going to die.
He is going to die.
He knows. He even knows. On some level, he knows he's going to die. I want Tara to be like,
Mama said knock you out.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be Tara, not Daryl.
No, it needs to be.
It needs to be Tara who kills him, because the fact that he murdered her girlfriend and wasn't even aiming for her is some bullshit.
And that's why I want Maggie to give birth
and then kill Negan.
No, I want the baby to kill Negan. I really want her to pop out this baby, and it's gonna be a little murder baby. And it's going to be like, oh, here's your butt. And there's your face. Little murder baby.
Little murder baby. And now here's the question. And this is about Maggie's pregnancy.
Okay.
Is the baby immune?
No.
Because in real life, when you have a child, a 9 out of 10, especially if you breastfeed, especially, your child builds up immunities to diseases that you have.
But we don't know what's caused it. I mean, see,
that's the thing. We don't know what caused the original outbreak. We still don't know what caused the original outbreak.
We just know it happened.
Yeah, it's like Shaun of the Dead.
It's just, from what we know on the East Coast and the West Coast, because of Fear the Walking Dead, which, I watched that show.
Have we ever seen the middle of the country on the show?
No.
Or in the comics? Are they fine? Wouldn't it be hilarious if the East Coast and the West Coast were just total crazy hot messes?
And it's because we don't want to go to Middle America.
I don't want to go to Middle America.
Sorry, I'm
stationed a lot of places don't want to go.
I really do want to check out a corn festival though.
No, I don't.
One of these days, I'm trying to be nice.
I'm the wrong color.
Well, so am I, because there's a lot of sun there.
Yeah, pale and burnt and unhappy.
I'm gonna be covered in hats and umbrellas. Help me, I'm pale.
So,
Daywalkers.
how do we think next year's gonna go?
Okay, so we at least have 2 more seasons with Negan. This we know for sure.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan signed on for 2 more years.
So, are we gonna get the turnaround of Negan where he's actually working
with Rick? We would have to, right?
Or is he gonna be killed and come back in little glimpses? Are we gonna see
flashbacks
or his backstory? Because we really haven't seen.
Do we need the backstory though? Like, everybody doesn't need a backstory. Like, I feel like
I wouldn't mind getting a glimpse of what he was before.
I feel
we already get the fact that he was like a bully.
Yeah.
But I also want to know, I'm like, well, were you a porn star?
Because if we were on board for that.
A mechanic porn star? Were you a pizza delivery porn star, and that's why you killed Glenn, because he was a pizza delivery boy too? All these questions. These questions. These are the days of our lives.
So many drunken questions, you guys.
It's good beer.
It's so good.
As the world turns, kill a god, just make them bleed.
So, do we think Negan's little "we're going to war" is going to fail? I mean, we're obviously going to have some losses next year.
Yes.
So, I guess the question is, who do we think is going to die next year? Do you think we're going to lose Carol?
I think that's a probability. Because
do you think we're going to lose Ezekiel? I don't want to lose Ezekiel or Carol.
I don't want to lose any of our guys. Like, no. I mean, you never do.
I don't understand how you don't get attached. I mean, who doesn't get attached to your characters? What are you watching for? If you don't love these people, what are you watching for? Because I can watch zombies kill people.
And for the people that are like, yes, there's going to be filler episodes. There's always going to be filler episodes, no matter what you're watching. Not every single episode is going to be like bam, 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 action packed. Because guess what? Writing doesn't work that way.
No, and writers do need, as a writer, you do need a break. Yeah. Trust me. I know. I mean, even the most flawless show that I've ever watched, which was Farscape, even they had, now I will say their filler episodes did what this one did, which is gave you information that turned out to be really, really important 5 episodes later.
Yeah.
But even they had their filler episodes. It happens. Even Writers need a break.
Has filler episodes.
Yeah. Xena had a lot of filler episodes. I love them all. But, yeah. I rewatched that whole series. We have to do that, too. Yeah. That's a whole other thing.
For the Walking Dead faithfuls, there's a reason why this television show is, like, #1.
Yeah.
And we will be here.
Fans. And we will be here to watch and review and drink.
And drink and be merry.
And drink.
And talk about zombies eating our brains.
No. So, this is Belle.
This is Allie.
And we are here from Pop Culture Uncovered. Woo! And this is our drunk review of The Walking Dead Season 7. You can find us at popcultureuncovered.com, Pop Culture Uncovered on Facebook, PC Uncovered on Twitter and Instagram, and Pop Culture Uncovered on Tumblr. Thank you.
Thank you.